Hello everybody and welcome back to some more roster reviews. I know it's been a little while since I've gotten to them, but I have some time now. We're in the GAC off season. I don't have as much stuff that I'm forced to do right now, so I can take some time and look at some rosters. So first one I'm looking at today is Chroma. They are in long go time, 6.8 million GP and Kyber 3, doing pretty well. They said they started in 2019 sometime, so not sure when that means, but that means they're probably between like 3.5 to 4 years old of an account, and mostly free to play, light spending here and there, I think on tickets, he said. But it's actually a pretty good account. As you can see, they got Executor right now, we got JMK, got Cat, and it looks like a pretty balanced squad or roster. When they applied to do a roster review, they said they're working on Stor Kulur. I'm not sure what to do next, so I'm going to try to look at things over and help figure out what to do next. And obviously they have Stor Kulur there, R5, not a bad place to get them. And this roster looks like it's pretty focused on just getting a lot of R5s, which I think is pretty good. It's pretty balanced. Once you get to relics, unless it's a crap character and you want to keep it at Relic 3, if you're going to use them, Relic 5 is a good idea because of Datacrons. If you want to compete in GAC, in Territory War, which Chroma has said he does, and GAC looks to be going pretty well, I think. Kyber 3 for 6 or under 7 mil, I think it's a pretty good accomplishment. 4 Galactic Legends, missing Rey, Lord Vader, and Jabba. Makes sense because Jabba's new. Rey is notoriously delayed or postponed for people, or people procrastinate on her. And Lord Vader is just pretty difficult. So let me look at some main factions here. Checking out Empire since there's no Lord Vader. Pretty good with the troopers. I think a good squad to build up just even a little bit is Iden Versio, and it might not be the biggest priority, but it's an amazing team. And but if you don't want to, there's a couple things I'd prioritize over it for right now, and it looks like there is kind of no resources wasted on the supporting cast. It's basically just a command Imperial Trooper team and then some other standard Empire, which is fine. So that's a great team, but I wouldn't work on it right now. And let's check Inquisitorius, actually. Okay, no Inquisitorius. That's actually one of the options I'd present. I'd either go for Inquisitorius first, or probably Profundity, because those are the biggest competitive edges. Inquisitors, it's not the biggest competitive edge for you personally, but it can help you get into a better guild. But if you have no intention of leaving guilds, it could still help your guild, so that's an option. But I'd probably go Profundity first and Inquisitorius. And Chroma has both the Jedi Galactic Legends, so not really slacking on anything here. Kiadi Mundi, so a 4-star Kiadi Mundi, that tells me Chroma is not in the best guild. So that is definitely a focus to get into a better guild. Clearly they're doing light side Geonosis in some capacity, but they are not doing it very fast. So I'd get, I don't know if there's good guilds that can get like a ton of cam shards that aren't going to be doing Rise of the Empire, so it's kind of a bad spot for that. But either way, that indicates guild stuff is a weak point. The rest of the squad is pretty balanced based on where they're at right now. Let's check out some Rebels. Pretty built out Rebel faction, not surprising with Jedi Master Luke. And I think, yeah, maybe they are working on Profundity already because these 3 have built up and there's not a big reason to get them otherwise. And Ras is getting farmed, so I think you're ahead of me, ahead of my advice on that, which is a good thing. Check out Sith. Very well, very nicely built up. Savage, definitely worthwhile. He doesn't need Chirotechs to build him up. If you just, even if you just get him to Gear 13 or R3, that's actually worth shooing in there even while you're working on Profundity, because it's going to pay instant dividends. And you can make something work somewhere. Especially since you have the Traya Omicron already, he can slot in as a great 5th. But Traya, Scion, Nihilus, Talon, and Savage with his Omicron on defense in Grand Arena, it's going to get some holds or going to draw a really good team. There's just no question about it. But otherwise, pretty good. Got set the Eternal Emperor, the Lord Variat, of course. Let's check online Force users. Got Kylo Ren. Yeah, none of this is too surprising. But still got to work on the Inquisitors. And Resistance, you know, it's fine. I think Resistance is completely okay to neglect until you want to go for Galactic Legend Ray. Now Zori's changing that equation right now, but since she is not accelerated, it's fine. What else? Let's check Droid. Okay, so you know, Sorty's great, but I can understand not getting her yet. I mean, maybe just slow farm 50 RT, Sorty, whatever. But you don't have much of the supporting cast, so I don't know. I think that mostly looks good. And let me just check the bottom of the roster just to see what might have slipped through the cracks. Got Inquisitors, of course, newer characters, Hot Cartel. Bad Batch isn't a team that you have yet. Definitely good, but I think it doesn't trump Inquisitors and Profundity right now. Yeah, nothing too glaring based on the natural progression of an account. So I'm going to say you got a pretty good account. You're doing very well. You're making use of what you have. And just, yeah, Profundity missing. Tarkin R5. Is that a requirement for Sith Eternal Emperor? I'm not sure. But yeah, you can make the Profundity counter work with close to that. I did not mean to click that. But yeah, I mean, ship's looking decent. Geo's Gear 12. Yeah, need to work on Outrider, of course, for Profundity. Yeah, no, things are looking pretty good. I give you a good score. I don't like grades specifically, but I give you good marks. This is a good account, Chroma. You got a great base, and you're looking competitive for the future. Just checking out Datacrons, pretty balanced. Some level 5s, level 6s. I don't know how many more level 5s you could make use of, but this looks pretty balanced. You're not completely ignoring them and not going all in. So pretty good approach. Overall, good account. And I almost completely forgot to just check mods real quick. So looking at what the fastest character is Kenobi 169. It's a pretty good set for a fastest one. Let me see what Luke is working with. All health sets. Health mods. That's not the best. And I know you're still at R7. But you probably want, and this is what I have on mine, speed set, defense secondaries, or defense, a speed set, a defense set, and then protection primaries. And it looks like you have some protection defense primary, no good, no bueno. So you have some protection primaries, but you really want to focus on the protection completely. And you know, health doesn't hurt. If you don't have good defense sets, a health set is fine. But you really want to maximize that protection. As far as speed, Cat and Mara Jade, Darth Revan, Gideon, Piet, these are all good characters to have really fast. Hux, that might be a little fast. You could probably divest some of those good mods to other characters. And Wat Tambor, I mean, I don't know. That's not a super fast set on him because he has kind of a high base speed, but he can afford to be slower because, I mean, his role is just to get out a tech, maybe 2, and then die. So I don't think putting a lot of speed on him is super necessary. Rex Shakti, you're fine. Count Dooku has a high base speed. But it's looking like you don't have a super deep mod pool as far as speed goes. So that might be something to work on. Just getting speed sets in general. You know, crit damage on Anakin is good. I do like that mod set. So since this is a crit damage set, that's actually pretty good that he's that fast. That's great under Qui-Gon. Bosk really wants speed. Give him protection though. He really wants protection primaries because when he falls under 100% health, all bounty hunter allies gain 100% defense while at full health. So if you lose any health, then you're kind of screwed there. So you want protection maximized, so just swap around those mods. I don't want to dive in too deep here. Revan, you know, you could probably use some speed if he's down here. Yeah, you can probably donate some more mods to him, maybe on Hux. I'm not sure what your schema is, but not too bad, but the mods do need a little bit of work. Alright, on deck we got Alex Arrow. He has no equal, according to the tag. He's in UA Empire Kiev Warriors. Kyber 3 right now with a GP of 5.9, so that's pretty good. I mean, the Chroma is in Kyber 3 and has closer to 7, so I don't know, it seems pretty good to me. I don't know the demographics as far as GP goes for like Kyber 2 through 5, honestly, because I mean, Kyber 2 it's actually probably a lot of pretty big accounts. But I got Lord Vader. Shut up, Gus. I got Lord Vader and Executor. No Profundity though, which, you know, it's understandable. You know, not everyone can rush to that super fast. That is a possibility to focus on, but I don't know if that'll be the recommendation yet. Decent Datacron stash. And 4 Galactic Legends like Chroma that we just looked at, but 3 out of 4 are the same, but Lord Vader is different. So instead of, what they have, Sith Eternal Emperor? They got, no, Sith Eternal Emperor. What did they have? No, it was Sith Eternal Emperor. But that's interesting, you know, Alex Arrow has Lord Vader, who is probably the most difficult Galactic Legend to get, but not Sith Eternal Emperor, who is probably the easiest. And that just speaks to different players have different priorities. I do think Lord Vader's better, and he's kind of cooler in a lot of ways, but might be worth it to go for Sith Eternal Emperor. Let's just start looking at some factions here first. Let me check bounty hunters. I didn't check the other guy's bounty hunters, but okay, decent. Zam, Omicron, definitely approve. Oh, Grief Karga. And I don't see Mando either. So Mando is a glaring absence. The original Mandalorian, the Marquee version, or actually he is there. I'm blind. But he's not built up very high. Grief and Mando need some love. Maybe just get him to gear 12. You could probably spare some gear there for them. And the Zeta on Mandalorian's Unique is worthwhile. Let's move on to Empires. Pretty good faction. So we got Piet High, of course, Darth Vader, naturally. Do have a lot of the makings of Sith Eternal Emperor. So I think that might be a good next step just because it might be so close. And maybe that's what's going on here because Krennic is gear 12 and there's not much reason to get him up that high except to unlock. Moff Gideon, another pretty glaring absence, and he's a great plug-and-play character. Doesn't have to be with Imperial Troopers. But right now it looks like the Trooper team is a little lacking. I mean, you got Veers, Piet, Stark, need Dark Trooper. Yeah, so don't have a functioning Trooper team, and that is going to be very useful if you get it up and running. So I think I would recommend Sith Eternal Emperor next. It looks like it's probably on the way there now. But in addition to that, get Dark Trooper and Moff Gideon working, or Range Trooper if you don't want to do Moff Gideon. But he's still an amazing character. Yeah, and Mara Jade. So clearly don't have Starkiller yet. I wouldn't recommend Starkiller right now where you're at. But definitely at some point. Just quickly get Geos. Geos are weak. I mean, I don't know if it's worth it working on them at this point. If you have a good Galactic Republic fleet or as a backup to your Executor. And you can make it work anyway with weak-ish Geos. Inquisitors, let me check. Probably need to work on them. I see you're farming the shards, so that's not terrible, but that is something to have on the horizon. So it's good to farm those shards. I got both Jedi Galactic Legends, of course. Joe Lee, you know, that's kind of a glaring absence. He is very important, so Relic 5 for him is useful. I mean, a Revan team, looks like you're not focusing on a Revan team with him just at Relic 1. But that is a very key component of it. If you do want to have a deep Jedi faction. And Rebel. Okay, pretty built out. don't seem to have worked towards profundity. So, I mean, and that's okay. I mean, it's like the best ship in the game, but I do think that the Eternal's probably closer and much more immediate payoff for you at this point. So just keep going for him. Yeah, Sith, yeah, Treya, Savage, Scion, Nyla. So these guys are all very important. And they don't even have to be super high like gear or relics. I mean, gear 12, some gear 12, some gear 13 can be fine with the Omicron. But to have it at their best in 5s, you need the Savage Omicron too. So I don't know, that might be expensive. But it is definitely something to focus on when you get the chance. So there's a lot of stuff there. And, you know, if I forgot to say it, this is a 2020 account. Yeah, November 2020. So just over like 2.5 years, maybe. So, or not quite 2.5 years. So this is actually pretty impressive if this is, or is it? No, am I doing math wrong? 1, 2. No, it's like 2.5 years. It is impressive if this is just 2.5 years old. And this is mostly free to play, so I'm not sure what's going on there. But for that amount of time, definitely you have plenty. Now to look at some mods. We got Kylo Ren as the fastest. Okay, and he's got 572 speed. A little bit of health there. Crit damage triangle, clearly. Offense is okay. Could probably use more offense there. Offense percentage, no secondary offense. A little bit of secondary offense there, but you've tried to slice these up as much as you could. No offense there. This is a great mod. For him. A little bit of secondary offense. And some there. So, you know, pretty decent modding for Supreme Leader Kylo Ren. That's one of the choices you can make. You want a really fast Kylo Ren, or you just want to load him up with offense, or sometimes even just health. But it's pretty good. Cat being the fastest non-galactic legend totally makes sense. Very fast, and you get out a lot out of her being the fastest. Piet's good. Yoda, probably too fast. I mean, you got an offense set, which is good, but that's definitely way too fast for Yoda. Protection. No, that is a gas mod. This is a General Skywalker mod. This is not a Yoda mod. I don't know who that goes on, but it's not a Yoda mod. You want offense. Yeah, I mean, crit damage is not a bad second set to have on him, because he has low crit chance naturally. Or special crit chance, yeah, really low. So it is good to get that extra crit chance on him. But he's way too fast. You can spread out those mods. Where's General Skywalker? I want to see now. I mean, looks like there is a protection focus. Oh no. Okay. Easy switch. Well, you might want to do a 3-character switch, but give that offense mod with the protection primary to gas right now. That's good, I think. Yes, that's good. I mean, he doesn't. Speed isn't like he's not dying to have speed, but it's good to have a great protection. Secondary. But yeah, that Yoda thing. That's what. There's not too many things that just jump out at me when looking at mods as wrong, but that is one of them. Hux might be a little fast. Yeah, you can probably spare some mods on Hux. I mean, I don't know if you have a specific use for it. But who's some characters that you want to be fast that aren't really? Generate Revan is a little slow, so you want him to get a lot faster. And do you have Darth Revan? I'm just noticing I don't really see it. Okay. So, just overall, the recommendation is working on Sith. I mean, you want Sith Eternal Emperor, but you want Darth Revan. He is great. Even if you can't unlock Malgus yet, he is fantastic, Darth Revan. I mean, Malak, yes, is an eventual unlock. Plenty of stuff to work on here. You know, Grief and Mando, Sith Empire, Sith Eternal Emperor. Lots of stuff I'm seeing here, lots of gaps. You know, I'm impressed that you got 4 Galactic Legends already, you got this GP, but a lot of core squads missing that can make a difference for you pretty quickly. They don't have to be super high relics. You just get them to gear 12, gear 13, give them some speed. So speed is something you're going to need to work on with the mods, and then that's going to make a big impact for you. So overall, Alex Arrow, a pretty decent account, a little top heavy. Need to flesh out the rest, and Sith Eternal is probably the next big fish you want to try and catch. But it might be worth working on some key squads like Sith Empire, Grief and Mando, work on your mods, stuff like that. But overall, decent. Still good that you're in Kyber 3 with this GP. Okay, now the third and final account I'm looking at. I'm going to start with 3 because it took a while on the first 2. I'm hoping this is more of a roast. This is actually my guild leader, Stor Kulur. So he's the head honcho. He's in charge of my guild most. Isley Cantina. He's in Kyber 2, and he has 8.9 million. I know there's a couple things I want to pick fun at up front, but I don't know his account super well. So just looking through, I mean, he's got Scythe. He's good with that. Datacrons, I don't know. This is not good. You know, for 9 million store, you gotta work on some Datacrons. I can help you with that if you want. Maybe if looking at your roster, you're not ready for that. I don't know. I'll have to see. Yeah, final Profunding Executor. Definitely great. I know you are focused on the guild first and foremost. Finalizer, you know, pretty weak. You might want to work on First Order too. That'll really help us in Territory War. Along with Springler, Kylo Ren. Yeah, you gotta keep farming that. But yeah, that's a pretty important ship at this stage of the game. For Territory War mainly, it's good in Grand Arena too. 5 Galactic Legends. Missing Supreme Leader Kylo and Jabba. I don't know what he's working on. What are you working on? Are you working on Jabba? Does not appear so. So, you know, it's fine. I mean, he is a good next step to get, but I think you should probably get Supreme Leader Kylo Ren. Up near top, Darth Revan, Malgus, yes, good, Radis, Inquisitor. He is one of our guild members that is getting us Reva Shards. So that is very important. I think he might have been ready before. No, he was like the first one. So this is actually, I take my hat off to Stor. The first TB, I think we got 1 Reva Shard, and it was from him. So he is doing us a great service there, and we're pretty behind the 8 ball on that. Hopefully we're going to catch up with this new Great Inquisitor event that's coming out real soon. But I think probably just go for Supreme Leader Kylo Ren. I mean, get the whole faction up. It's not a bad faction. It's great in ships too. You already got 5 Galactic Legends and the 2 meta ships, so it's not a bad idea. I'm not sure what you're working on right now. But one thing I did want to poke fun at is this guy for some reason loves Phoenix, or mainly just Kanan and Ezra. I don't know why, but Relic 7 on both of them. I think it's probably for platoons that it's Relic 7 specifically. I know that's what's happening with Jedi Consular. Let me look at these. What's the mods like? Okay, yeah, I mean, you're not going to get used out of him. Although Jedi Consular, I do have a lot of respect for him, because in the very beginning of the game, I used him constantly. It was just him and Luminara tag teaming to heal me up and get me through Galactic War, and like those day 1 accounts. But anyway, I digress. Ezra and Kanan, he had them at Relics, I think, before this TB, and I don't think they're worth it. I mean, I'm gonna die and Kifista, it's probably for TB too, but just not worth it. There's so much other stuff, and I think it'd be, I don't know. I guess the platoons are really helpful. I don't really, I don't know. I don't enjoy the platoon thing. Even if though it's mathematically beneficial, I'm like, eh. So how are you modding him since you put in so much investment? Okay, speed, some health focus. Crit damage, good. I don't know why you want health as a focus. I mean, he's already squishy. Like, if he's getting hit, he's gonna die. Just go for full offense. I would like Ezra. I like a lot of his kit, but he is just so flimsy. And I mean, his health pool base is much better than his protection base. That's a really low protection base. So he's super flimsy. You know, Kanan, if someone gave me a R7 Kanan, I wouldn't complain, because he is a Jedi and he's a tank. Really slow, I guess. I don't know if you want that or not, but anyway, kind of a weird, quirky choice for the roster. Guitaran, TB, Omicron, I don't know. I don't like TB Omicrons, because you can get everything done anyway without them, and then there's no more room to run more teams. But I'm sure you've got good use out of him. Lumi Omicron, you know, I'm not super hot on it. Mace Windu, Territorial Omicron, it's good. That's all good and well and good. Sith, what are your Sith like? Dang, you gotta work on the Triumvirate. That is, you know, for this GP, you know, if you got Ki-Adi Mundi, or no, Armageddon, Jedi Consular, you gotta get your Sith up. I mean, we can make use of that, and you gotta focus on GAC somewhat too. So that's a clear Omicron choice to get to. But enough of the specific characters. The rest of the account is pretty fleshed out, so I want to look at the mods. And I don't really know how good his mods are. Lord Vader's the fastest. It's pretty good. I had him like kind of about the same speed, but I switched to a protection arrow, and I think it's kind of helped. But it's pretty good anyway. Ray is actually something that people differ on their approach. Pretty low-ish health. The offense is decent. So, you know, that's not bad here. Not super bad, not like incredible either way. Jedi Master Luke is kind of slow. I like to run him really fast. And what's with the... I don't know, what's with the health sets? Go for speed, man. Speed and protection primaries. I mean, you probably got all protection anyway. Well, that's a speed, but... I mean, don't split the baby. If you're gonna put a speed arrow on, you want all speed and then protection. As much protection. For non-galactic legends, Echo is absolute fastest, and that's the fastest one. So I think your top of your mod pool might not be the best. I mean, actually, this is an incredible crit damage set. 150 speed. Oh my gosh. Yeah, 21, 28. Oh my gosh, this is incredible. Yeah, I mean, this is pretty good. It's kind of weird. I mean, I don't know if she wants crit damage set. I mean, she has low crit chance, so I don't know. I don't really like the crit damage set on her, because you want someone that's like really topping out their crit chance already, like Anakin, because he's getting tons of offense, he gets some armor penetration, and all that other like damage boosting stuff, and he really wants the crit damage. You already have that. You got speed. I don't really like that. I mean, I know under Qui-Gon he gets offense based on his speed. You might want to switch this with Kat, honestly. She just wants speed. I mean, yeah, she's doing a ton of damage anyway. Like, by the time she ramps up her Force Leap, it's killing people anyway, even without the crit damage. I'm kind of dragging on with this, but I'll try to finish it up soon. I mean, good speed for Yoda. You do want speed sometimes. Potency is kind of interesting. I would go for offense. Any other glaring weak points? You know, Maul could use more relics. But the speed isn't a concern. Okay, so... Well, Grief is pretty slow. You need to give Grief some more love. You want your Bosk and Grief to be really close together in speed, and both have a lot of speed, so they can go back to back. You can taunt with Bosk. Where's your Bosk really slow too? No, Bosk is here. Yeah, you want Bosk a little faster so we can taunt, and then Grief's going to go right away and use a special, and then Bosk will go again, call his assist. And then you could generate contract right away. So swap that. But I mean, I love the defense and protection focus for sure. Anyway, I think that's it. That's what I'm going to look at for my Fearless Guild Leader. Pretty decent account. You're doing a great job leading the guild. You got a couple things to work on with the actual roster, and stop being so selfless all the time with your picks. Okay, so that's it for today. Thanks to everyone that submitted for a roster review. It's taken a long time, but I'm trying to get through them. Just as not a reminder, but just a notice, I'm not necessarily going to review every single account that got applied. Sometimes I'll look at an account and I don't think it's either interesting to talk about, or you've taken too many breaks from the game, back and forth, and it's harder to actually gauge where you're at or what you should do. And I have just so many, it's going to take all year plus to get through them, so I got to be a little bit more choosy. But anyway, feel free to apply if you want to. It just might be a very long time, and it's not a guarantee. Anyway, thanks for watching this one. I really enjoyed doing it, and I'll see you for the next roster review.